Hello and welcome to Judy's Creations in Crochet. And today is August the 1st, 2023. And it's amazing how fast the months go by. And I know that you all look forward to the video at the first of the month. Once again, you can see I have my co-host here with me. He's wanted to snuggle in a bit. We'll see how long he stays. So the first thing is that we want to talk about what items did you all make. And I want to start by showing you the one I made. And I know that some of you saw this last week on my video, but I think I have a lot more viewers on the first of the month than I do other weeks. And you can see it looks like a cowl, but it actually is quite long and it can be worn up over the head if you like. That's your choice with this pattern. And it is called a snood. And I got the pattern, actually it's a tutorial online from Crystal at The Secret Yarnery. I'm pretty sure that's her name. And it was done with an EFA yarn. EFA is Expression Fiber Arts, pearlescent worsted. And I had this much left over from 2 hanks. Now, just to tell you about the yarn, this is a different color, but this is a pearlescent worsted, 50% merino and 50% mulberry silk. I love pearlescent fingering or worsted because of the silky feeling. And it has 201 meters or 220 yards. So having used 2 balls, and I actually remembered to weigh this, I don't very often, and there were 48 grams left from 100, so almost half a ball. Half a ball would be 110, so 48 grams. I'm going to guess that I have maybe 100 yards left in this, which means I used 220 and another 120, so about 340 yards of a worsted weight to make this snood. And it was very, very easy, and it's a 1-row repeat. So yeah, and it was just double crochets, so it'd be easy enough for anybody to be able to make. So that's the item that I made this month. Now, I know you're looking, wait, I got cat hair, he just left, and fluff all over the place here. So I know now that you're all waiting to see what items you have sent me. And some of you have started to post them, on Ravelry. I've seen a couple of them also in Instagram. So I hope after today's video, a bunch more of you will go and post on Ravelry so that people have a better look at what you've made. But here's what's exciting to me. In the end, we had a total of 31 submissions. I think the highest I've ever had before was 22. So 31 was a big increase. And out of those 31, I believe it was 8 or 9 people are new submissions I've never submitted before. So I guess they've just found my channel. And I welcome you all and thank you all for submitting something. So we're going to get started. I'm going to split the screen and show you the items that you have submitted to me. And as you know, I need to follow my notes. It takes me a while to make these notes so that hopefully I don't forget anything. So the first one is from HD, and she said that's what she's called, HD. And she is in the Chicago area, so she's in Illinois, and this is her first time submitting. She tried to submit last month and didn't make it in time. So here is a dress, child size dress that she has submitted. I don't have any other information about it. Next, we have Linan, who is a regular subscriber and submits every month. She's in Florida, and Linan has the YouTube channel called Nina's Knots Crochet. I always mention that anybody that has a channel, I mention their channel name. She has submitted here this scarf that is a C.J. Brady one skein scarf or one skein pattern, and she used her mid-knits craving with sparkle in it. And Linan says she has become a C.J. Brady fan. Next we have Tammy. And Tammy is from here in Ontario, Hamilton, which is up around the Toronto area. For those that don't know Canada well, you may have heard of Toronto. And she has submitted a couple of hats in the colors seen in the inspiration picture. I forgot to mention the inspiration picture was Larkspur this month. And she says these are the women's peaked hat pattern from Yarnspiration. Next, we have Barbara B., who lives in Missouri. I have to say that because I have two Barbaras. I have two Barbaras and two Debbies. I have, I think, 3 or 4 Lisas, so I have to give initials or something to separate them. Now, Barbara B. has done a wind spinner in the colors this month, and she says she got this from a YouTube channel tutorial. And next, we have Lisa, who is new, and she's from Tennessee, and she's done this scrap granny square blanket. And then we have another regular subscriber who is Anvita. And hang on just a second. Get out of there. You cannot go in there. He's kind of nosing at a box of yarn that maybe I shouldn't have put there. Anyhow, sorry about that. Anvita has submitted 2 this month. The first one, a purple no pearl shawlette, and the second one is, it's a knitted pattern, and it's a leafy paths wrap. Then we have, did I say Anvita's from India? I don't think I mentioned that. Next we have a local friend of mine, Rose, who has submitted this shawl in these beautiful purples, and it is a fiber spider pattern called Diamonds and Cubes. Then we have another Lisa. This Lisa's from Florida, and she's also new, I'm pretty sure. And she has submitted this lovely doily, and she said it's a tutorial by Maggie Lopez, and it's using crochet thread. I admire people that can use that very fine crochet thread. Oops, I've been having a few technical difficulties here. So the next item I'm going to show you is from Deb M., who also lives in Arizona. And she has submitted one of C.J. Brady's one skein wonders, I call them. And this one is called 1,000 Kisses. It's a pattern I've done myself once or twice before. And Deb says she has been converted. She loves CJ Brady patterns and has purchased quite a number of them. Seems that my love of CJ Brady patterns has kind of flowed out to a few of my subscribers, and I'm glad you're enjoying that designer. I'm going to try again. Sorry for that interruption. Next, we have a pattern from Debbie P., who is in Arizona, and she also has done a CJ Brady pattern, and it is called Finding Balance. And now we have another Lisa, and she did tell me, I believe she's from Canada. She's new to us, at least to submitting items. And she has submitted what she calls is an amigurumi hat for pets. And it is a pattern from Surin's Crochet on YouTube. Then we have Rosanna, who is in Ontario also, and she has a channel, Crochet with Nona Rosanna, I think is what it's called. And she has submitted a shawl, which she told me was a pattern from Crystal at Bag O' Day. So it would be a tutorial. I don't have the name of it. And next, we have something from Adam, who is in the UK. And this is another fiber spider pattern, and it is called the Cloister Shell Shawl. He thought that's what he used. And in fact, I'm doing a cloister shell shawl right at the moment. Then we have Rebecca. I don't remember where Rebecca is from. And this is interesting. She has submitted what's called the Larkspur Shawl. How fitting to do that pattern. And she says it is a pattern by Fiber Flux. Got to be careful with these names. And Fiber Flux is a YouTube channel, so there would be a tutorial on that. And then we have Magine, I hope I'm saying this right. And she's done this cute little cupcake square. And she says it comes from a book called 3D Grannies. And she is in the process of making many squares to make a blanket. It'd be an interesting blanket if the squares are all like this one. Then we have Susan, who is from New Jersey. And she has here a collection of washcloths, and she says she uses them in gift baskets, guest baskets in her home, but she also gives them as gifts. So moving on, we once again come to Josephine. Josephine, are you in Kentucky? I've forgotten. I should know. Or no, maybe North Carolina. Anyway, as you know, Josephine submits 3 granny squares every month that will eventually go into one big blanket, probably. And I just love how she tries to do one 3D of the actual flower of the month. Then we have Jody. I don't think we've had anything from Jody before. Jody is in Minnesota, and she submitted this shawl. It's a half circle, and it's a tutorial by Carrie Penny, who also is on YouTube. Then we have Lillian, who is in Ontario as well. And she has submitted this shawl. I'd call it a wrap, so did she. and it is from a pattern on Hobie. My note says she made this out of a cake of yarn that she won from my channel in February. She submitted and won on the wheel and used that cake to make this shawl. And she says it's her first time doing filet. It did a great job. And it's called the Rhoda shawl. You can find that pattern on Hobie. Next, we have another local friend of mine who once again has done her own thing and made a top from her own design, but she's decided that it's too heavy. The material's too heavy to be a summer top, which was, I think, her first plan. And so now she's busy putting some sleeves on it so that she can wear it in the fall or winter. Next, we have Joan, who is, again, from Arizona. And this is her first time watching, or her first time submitting, sorry. And she has submitted a shawl, which she said was easy to make during this hot weather. And she says it's a simple granny shawl. Then we have Lisa Loves Crochet. Maybe we have more Lisas than I remember. And she is from Alberta. Now, I don't know if that means that's just her call name or if she has a YouTube channel. She didn't tell me. But she made this heart pillow, which was a pattern from Tiffany Hansen. I believe that is, again, a YouTube channel. And Renee from Alabama has submitted a knitted scarf, and she knows those are just my kind of colors, but those were the colors that were in the flowers. Then we have another Barbara M., who also is from Alberta, and she has submitted two. The first is a bag, and it's called the Ridgeline Tote by Pine Tree Crochet. And then she has this cute picture. I'm quite sure it's her son modeling this cowl she has made. And she says it's a Tunisian ribbed cowl, and it's by Emily Marie Davies. I scribble when I make these notes, and I'm not always sure if I'm reading my notes correctly. Okay, moving along. Our next item is from Raylene, who this is the first time submitting, and I think she's a fairly new viewer. And I was excited to see Raylene is from Australia. So I'm glad I have made it to Australia. I think I have another viewer who's also from Australia. And she has submitted this set, and it is a V-stitched scarf, a pattern from Creative Grandma, and a V-stitched hat, which is a pattern by Crystal of Bag O' Day. So what a nice match. Then we have Jane, who is also in Ontario, and she has submitted a hat and cowl set. And she said it's called the Winter Tail Cowl. She doesn't remember the name of the hat. She says she's made it a couple of times and she's lost the name, but both of these patterns come from Bag O' Day Crystal, because she only can follow tutorials. She says the cowl looks like it's not done because she still has to join it into the circle, but still she did finish making them. Next, we have another new submitter, my tongue, And her name is Michelle, and she's from Utah. I don't think I've ever had anybody from Utah before. And she has, Michelle, and I can't remember her full name, is a YouTube creator. I remember seeing her talking about this on YouTube. And she has knit a pair of socks. And apparently they're called the Fish Lips Kissed Heel. That's the type of heel she's put in these socks. And they're shorty socks. Now, KAL, who is from Israel, has done the shawl version of the Just Feel Festive shawl we are doing. I think it's called Just Feel Happy? I don't know. I forget. KAL, you'll have to write it in the description or the comments below. But anyway, she may have done, I don't have the picture in front of me now. She may have done a Just Feel version for us here, a second version of the Just Feel festive shawl. I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure she's done the actual shawl version, which is a real shawl, and it has a different name, but it's Just Feel Festive something. I should have looked it up and I forgot. Sorry for the confusion. And next we have two submissions from Cindy, who is in Costa Rica. And the first is a Tunisian baby blanket with mosaic in the bottom section. Cindy likes both Tunisian crochet and mosaic crochet, so she's combined them here. And then she designed her own kind of bag for her own purposes, and she has put a mosaic butterfly on one side of the bag. And Carrie said she had a request, I guess from one of her customers, for a beanie. So she has made this beanie to show us. And Carrie also is in Ontario. And then we have Donna, who is also new. And Donna is from Ottawa, which is our nation's capital, for those that don't know. But Ottawa is in Ontario. And she has done, like I did, a narrow version of the Just Feel Festive shawl. It is narrower, so it is a scarf version of it. But she did that in, of course, our monthly colors. But she's also busy making another wider Just Feel Festive shawl as well for our summer KAL. And then we have finally Mary Ellen, who is also new. And Mary Ellen is also in Ontario. And when I asked where she was from and she told me Amherstburg, Ontario, I was very excited because that's where my brother and his wife live, is in Amherstburg. So what a small world. And she has done a scarf or shawl, cowl, which is something she modified. She did a cowl, which she modified a beanie pattern called Grow With Me Beanie, and she modified it into a cowl or scarf. And that brings us to the end of 31 submissions, and I hope I got them all right. I think I'm going to make a note to myself to make a little bit better notes. The problem for this time was because I was away yesterday, I made all my notes the day before. So it's been 2 days since I looked at all the pictures and made my notes, and now I'm telling you about them sight unseen. When I edit, I will put the pictures in. So sometimes my memory is just a little bit hazy. So now I know what you're waiting for. You're waiting for me to spin the wheel. So I have to stop the video for a moment to go and get the wheel because I forgot to bring it down with me. So just hang on. I'll be right back. So sorry for that disruption. I went and got my spinning wheel, and here it is. There are all the names. If we get too many more people, all of those sections are going to be so tiny we won't be able to see or read much, but I'll keep adding as many as I get. So here we go. Let's spin the wheel. And we wait till it's completely done. And there's the winner, Anvita, who is in Israel. And I know Anvita makes lots of shawls, so she'll be able to make use of one of those gradient cakes that I will pick out to send to her. So congratulations, Anvita. Now, just before I go on, because I know that all of you are anxiously awaiting the picture for the next month. I want to say, first of all, that because we're getting so many more people, and as you can see, we're getting duplicates and everything, two things. First of all, the best way for me to get your pictures is to email them to me at judyscreations21@gmail.com. And that is always in the description box of every single one of my videos. It's easier for me if you just send the picture as an attachment to the email. I can grab the photo and put it in this slideshow. When you submit to me, would you please, because now we have a couple things going on, would you please in the subject line put Flower KAL or August KAL, whichever works, different from the other one, which is the Summer KAL. Because I have some of the people doing both and I need to keep them separate. So it's easier for me if you put what you're submitting to in the subject line. So that's the first thing, how to submit a picture. The second thing is when you do submit a picture, whether this is your first time or, well, it'll be your 8th time for August, would you please make sure to put your name. I know it's usually in the information of who it's coming from, but your name with a first and last name, or at least a first name and an initial of your last name. Somehow I can identify you different from, 4 other Lisas and 2 other Barbaras, and somehow that I can identify you so that when your name comes up as a winner, I have the exact right person and where you are from. Now, there are people that have been submitting every single month, and mostly I remember who or where they are from. But you know what? This is a senior memory up here. And as somebody I know says, I don't have Alzheimer's, but I do have some timers. So I guess maybe I should write it down somewhere and always have it. But I really appreciate you including where you're from when you sign your name. Now, if you don't want people to know where you're from, that's perfectly okay. But I think most of you find it very interesting to see, that I have somebody from Israel participating, somebody from Australia, somebody from India, from the UK. I have somebody, I think, from Ireland who has participated, as well as all the different states and provinces here. So I do appreciate you including that information. So now what we're all been waiting for, and that is, what is next month? Well, I have to tell you, my summer months have been, for me, the hardest ones to work from. And the next one was probably the hardest one of all. And the flower of the month is the gladiola. And I'm going to put a picture here and let you get your screenshot. Now, the gladiola, I forgot to bring my information to tell you what the gladiola represents, but you probably don't really care. Now you can see I'm going to keep the picture posted here beside me while I show my yarn. Like I said, it was the hardest one for me because it was hard to pick out just one color. The colors in that picture are not color, like you see yellow and you see, I don't know, a peachy color or a salmon color. And like those aren't colors I typically have in my stash. You look behind me and what do you see? You see a lot of blue. You've seen a lot of purples. Uh, Wines and fuchsias and that kind of area, and greens, various greens, but you don't see oranges and yellows and pink, sometimes, and peaches and salmons, and on it goes. So I happened to be, as you know, I cleared out yarn to find all my Canadian dyers. And in the process, I came across a yarn that I totally forgot I had. And it is from Sinful Yarn. Never heard of them, can't remember buying it. Must have got it off Etsy. And it was not hanked, and so it's still not hanked. But the reason I picked it, it's probably not a perfect match. I think lots of times you don't have perfect matches, but the reason I picked it is it had a multitude of colors. It definitely has some yellow in it. It has sort of a orangey red that bleeds. It's not quite that salmon color. We got pink, we got purple, we got a rusty color, we got here's a true purple over here. I could not, oh, here's an actual true red and some blue. And I don't know that all of these colors are in that picture. There's the closest I could get to a, maybe getting close to the peachy salmon, but it's more of an orange rust. I'm quite sure this is not a great match. Some of you will find one color in there, excuse me, like yellow, and you like yellow, and you make something totally yellow. Or the peach salmon is a very pretty color. If I had something, I just thought of something, and I may take another look, and if I change my mind, I'll let you know. But I don't know if it matches or not, but I have just remembered something I have that might match it. But for now, this is what I am going to make. And it's a single skein. It's called Spring Blitz. It's an 85-15 merino nylon blend, fingering weight, 437 yards. Oh, and then it says robin's egg. I must have gotten two skeins together here because I have two labels on this, and that's how much I remember about it. Anyhow, it was a long time ago. My plan is to pick out a one skein wonder by C.J. Brady that can take a colorful blend like this and make that into one of her projects, this single skein. I'm not even going to try to put something with it. This is what I'm going to work with, unless that other one in my mind matches the picture, but I have a feeling it doesn't. So I'm going to go with this. Sorry that it's not a true match. I just went with colorful because that picture is so colorful. So I look forward to seeing what you do with this month. It's a colorful picture, lots of colors you can choose from to make something of your choice. Now, let's talk about the date. And this time we are really in August. So I have the August calendar with me. Now, the first thing I want to say is that we finish up at the end of August, and then I typically do this slideshow on the first of the next month to reveal the yarn for the month. And the 1st of September is on a Friday. And you know, I always do my videos on Thursdays. September the 1st is also the Friday of the beginning of the long weekend. I don't know about the rest of the world, but I know that in Canada and the US, that Monday, September the 3rd, I believe, September the 4th, is Labor Day. It's a long weekend. It's the end of the summer. It's in a lot of places, not everywhere. It's the last weekend before the kids go back to school. It's just, sort of a major resting weekend or getaway for the final hurrah of the summer, whatever. And I know it's a busy weekend. And so I have made a decision, since I really don't want to do a video on Thursday and again on Friday, I have decided that I'm going to do the end of the month, 1st of the month, on August the 31st, my usual Thursday video. Now, I will have probably some other regular content in that video to have a regular video, but the majority of that video will be your projects for the month and showing what I made with this and telling you about September. So with that in mind, since I'm going to do it on the 31st, and you seem to like this number and remember it, I will need your submissions by Monday, August the 28th. Since I used the 28th the last couple of months, and I'll probably use it in September too because it's a short month. So let's go with Monday, August the 28th. That will give me the 29th and 30th to get the video all together and ready to put out on Thursday, the 31st. And that does August. And also, no, I'm going to mention, although it's not my regular video to mention it, September, that's another reason why I want to do that on the 31st. September is going to be a very busy month because those of you who've been around a while know September is my birth month and it's also my podiversary, and it will be a busy month, and I might talk more about it in my Thursday video this week. So thanks for joining me. And thanks for all of your submissions. I am truly, truly grateful to each and every one of you. I have such great viewers. And thank you for your submissions. And I look forward to seeing what you do with this gladiola inspiration. And I will also post the date of submissions in my community tab. So don't forget, I have a community tab you can check out, and I will be posting in Instagram and places like that. So good luck. Have fun with gladiola, and I will see you on Thursday.